There is a particular kind of fear that rarely announces itself as fear. It doesn't look like terror. It doesn't look like fragility. It often looks like refusal. And yet, beneath that refusal, there is a nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do: protect, preserve, survive. When autonomy is threatened, the body reacts long before the mind has a chance to explain itself. What we call behavior is often the visible edge of an invisible emergency. Let us pause here, because everything that follows in this series rests on whether we are willing to see that emergency for what it is. Hello and welcome back to the William Gomes Podcast. I am William Gomes and I'm grateful to have you here. Pathological Demand Avoidance, PDA, has been framed for far too long as a problem of behavior, defiance, opposition, control. These words carry moral weight. They imply intention, they imply choice, they imply a willful stance against cooperation. But the body does not speak in morals, it speaks in safety. At its core, PDA is not a pattern of choosing not to comply, it is a pattern of the nervous system responding to perceived threat. To understand this, we have to let go of the idea that autonomy is a preference. Autonomy is not a luxury. It is not a personality quirk. It is not a developmental stage to be outgrown. Autonomy is biological. For some nervous systems, the loss of agency, being told, directed, required, registers as danger. Not inconvenience, not irritation, danger. The body detects this through a process that operates beneath conscious thought. The system scans tone, posture, expectation, timing. It asks one question over and over again: am I safe? When the answer is no, control emerges, not as strategy, not as manipulation, but as reflex. This is why reasoning fails. You cannot persuade a fire alarm that there is no fire. You cannot explain safety to a system that has already moved into defense. What looks like choice is in fact a survival reflex. And once we understand that, the ethical frame shifts entirely. Now, consider this. Think of a child named Leo. Leo is bright, articulate, often charming. He can talk circles around adults when he feels safe, but when a demand enters the room, sometimes spoken, sometimes implied, something changes. Put your shoes on. It's time. You need to. Inside Leo, there is no calm, weighing of options. There is no internal debate. There is a tightening, a rush, a sense of being cornered. His chest feels smaller. His thoughts scatter. The room feels louder, closer, sharper. What he experiences is not reluctance. It is compression. The demand doesn't land as information. It lands as force. And so his system does what it has learned, keeps him intact. He delays, he jokes, he negotiates, he distracts. If that fails, the pressure builds. His voice changes, his body stiffens. The words that come out are not measured. They are protective. No, I can't. Leave me alone. From the outside, it looks sudden. From the inside, it has been building for some time. What matters here is not the content of the demand. Shoes are not the issue, nor is the school, nor is dinner. The issue is agency. Leo's system has learned, often very early, that loss of control equals loss of safety. And once that association is wired in, the body does not wait for confirmation. It acts. This is why moments that seem small can trigger reactions that feel outsized. The system is not responding to the present moment alone, it is responding to history, and that history lives in the body. So, how do adults usually respond? They respond to the surface, they escalate clarity, they firm up boundaries, they increase insistence, they speak more slowly, more clearly, more directly. And from their perspective, this makes sense. They are trying to help, they are trying to teach, they are trying to move things forward. But to a nervous system like Leo's, this feels like pressure, doubling down. The body hears, you are not safe, you are not in control, you must submit. And so the system escalates in return. This is the tragic loop at the heart of PDA. The more adults push for compliance, the more the nervous system pushes back. Each side believes the other is creating the problem. But the problem is not the relationship, it is the misreading of the signal. A safety building response does not begin with changing the child, it begins with changing the meaning of the moment. Safety is not created through authority, it is created through attunement. When adults slow their own nervous system, something shifts. When expectations soften rather than sharpen, the body has room to breathe. When agency is preserved, even indirectly, the threat level drops. This is not permissiveness, it is precision, it is understanding. That influence grows where force fails, that collaboration is not a technique but a stance, that dignity is not something to be earned through compliance. It is the ground from which regulation grows. The child does not need to be managed, they need to be met. Why does this matter? Because when we misinterpret survival as defiance, we teach shame, we teach mistrust, we teach the nervous system that the world is not safe. But when we see PDA through the lens of agency and anxiety, something else becomes possible. We stop asking, how do I make this stop? And begin asking, what is this protecting? We move from correction to curiosity, from control to connection. This series will not offer techniques, it will offer a way of seeing, a way of recognizing that beneath every refusal is a system trying, sometimes desperately, to stay intact. And when safety comes first, learning follows, not the other way around. Thank you for listening. This is the William Gomes Podcast. Take care of yourself, stay curious. And if you found this episode helpful, you're very welcome to follow, share, leave a comment or a rating. I'll speak with you again soon.